Okay, so today we're going to talk about a movie that I feel like not a lot of people talk about, Valley Girl. I'm going to talk about the original Valley Girl that came out in the 80s. So, we open with Julie and her friends are in the food court, and every part, I've seen this part multiple times, but every time we get to this part, it's like, at first I can't understand what they're saying.
In sight, I'm sure, I don't know, like, oh, I could say.
Wait, what are they saying? And I have to rewind it. I don't even remember what they said now. I should have wrote it down. But anyways. So Julie is in the mall talking to her friends about her ex, Tommy. And she said they've been going out so long, and I guess they've broken up. I don't remember if she says in this part, but basically they've broken up. And she says, like, she's just sick of this relationship. She compares herself to an old chair.
Or something like an old chair.
I knew exactly what she was talking about. So anyways, Julie and her friends are leaving the mall, and they run into Tommy. We find out that he hasn't called her in a while, and she's just like, I'm just over this relationship. I'm done. I don't even care about it anymore. And he's like, you must be freaking out. And that's exactly what you want to say to a girl you want to be with, that you're freaking out. Because, yeah, that would bring her back. So next thing you know, Julie and her friends are at the beach.
I want a pea
They're hanging out. One of her friends goes over to the snack bar, and she's talking about it's the total social event of the season.
This is the social event of the season.
There's gonna be a party in the valley, and she's telling this other girl about it. And there's some creepy dude standing behind her, eavesdropping.
Sierra Vista.
And then we skip back to Julie, who's still laying on the beach, and her and her friends see this guy, and they're like, oh my god, look at this hot guy.
What a hunk.
It's Nicolas Cage and his character Randy. So Nicolas Cage plays Randy. He's on the beach. He just got out of the water, and it turns out the guy that was eavesdropping on Julie's friend is Nicolas Cage's friend. Randy's friend. And he tells him there's this party in the valley. We should go. I just heard about it. He's like, from eavesdropping. And Nicolas Cage's like, I don't want to go to the valley. And he's like, come on, it's going to be so great. There's going to be girls. And he's like, I don't want to go to the valley.
I don't want to go to the valley.
He's from Hollywood, and they're not interested in, like, valley parties or valley girls. He's like, you got to go. And then we skip back to Julie and her friends, and they're like, come on, Julie, you have to go to the party. And she's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to run into Tommy. They're like, come on, just go. So after the beach, we skip to Julie's at home. She just got ready for the party, and she's showing her parents. They're like, oh, you look so great, which is really weird, because usually when you go to a party, your parents will be like, no, you can't go to a party. Oh my god. But it's like her parents are these total hippies, and they're just like, live your life, Julie, make your own decisions. So she's going to this party, and it's really weird because the mom looked so young. I was like, this is the mom? At first I thought it was the older sister. So I looked up on IMDb, and turns out the actress who played Julie's mom is only 9 years older than Julie. And you can really tell. She looks her age. Anyways, they're like saying goodbye to her, and the dad's like, oh, if I was 20 years younger. Okay. So Julie keeps talking about this guy Brad she wanted to see at the party. So she sees this guy Brad at the party, and then Tommy comes over, and he's like trying to get her back, and then because he keeps like glaring at them, and then he comes over and tells her like, you can't leave without me, and then she walks away and keeps living without him. So in this party, the mom and the daughter that live there are making food for the party, and I swear they have sushi. I eat sushi. I love sushi. I've never seen this before. It looks like sushi. I'm not joking. With peanut butter on it. And I kept thinking, like, is that the sauce they put on? No, it doesn't look like that. It looks brown. It looks like they have peanut butter sushi. I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like the sushi I've seen. The girls are in this party, has a really young mom too. And this part of the storyline I always forget about because it doesn't really matter for the main story. I don't even know why they added the second storyline, but there's this really young mom and her daughter's like, Mom, and she's like freaking out because this guy she likes is coming, and she walks away, and guy standing next to the mom, I guess is her boyfriend, because she's like, ever since Jim died, she's been kind of competitive with me. I'm like, competitive with you? So I think it's her stepmom, and then this new guy's her boyfriend. And all I kept thinking was like, your daughter's telling you about a guy she likes. How is she being competitive? Maybe she's just telling you about some boy she likes, but she's taking it as a competition. Okay. They're standing by the snack table, and she's like calling out to the boy. She's like, ah. And then the stepmom's like, are you always so obvious with boys? And she's like, okay. So she introduces them into each other, and the mom's like,
Nice to meet you.
Call me Beth.
like whole weird and flirty, and she sends her boyfriend away like, can you get me a soda or something? And then her daughter walks away with the boy, and she's kind of like disappointed, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit on the boy that your daughter likes, okay? Tommy goes upstairs and he's hitting on Julie's friend, the one from the snack bar, and they fool around upstairs. By the way, there's like nudity in this movie. Nicolas Cage arrives. He comes in the door and he's wearing matching clothes with his friend. Like, their clothes are color coordinated. Julie goes up to him, she's like, what are you doing here? Who invited you? I'm like hella rude to say someone just at a party. I think she's trying to be flirty, like, who invited you? Upstairs, Tommy's like fooling around with the best friend. He makes her feel like total crap about it, like it's all her fault. And so he goes downstairs, and Julie's still talking to Randy, and then Randy's friend Fred comes up to some girl trying to hit her on her, and is like, how's your mother? She's like, she's dead. She just walks away. Who? What was he gonna say? Like, what? Like, where was he going with that? So anyways, Julie and Randy are talking, so Tommy comes over and punches Randy.
These are words.
Happy boys throw Randy and out, and friend Fred is like hiding at first, and then when the guys leave, like everything disperses, then he finally comes out. Nicolas Cage is like, where were you? So anyways, he's just like standing looking at the house, like he's so mesmerized by Julie, and he's like,
That chick Julie, she's truly dazzling.
Fred's like, okay, let's go. She's not one of ours. I think he means like people in Hollywood, but he's like, she's not one of ours, and they leave. On the way from the party, they stop in the middle of nowhere, and Randy gets out, and he's like throwing a fit, and he's throwing a tantrum, and he's like, we like each other, like, she likes me, and I like her, and no one can tell me what to do. And he's like, we're going back to the party.
We're going back.
They head back to the party. Randy decides the best way to see Julie, talk to her again, is to climb up to the second floor, climb through the window, and hide in the shower in the bathroom, and I guess wait for Julie. Because like at first I was like, maybe he just climbs through the window, go to the party, try to see Julie. No, he climbs through the window, goes in the shower, he just waits in there.
Oh, look out.
While like people are coming in and out using the bathroom. Like one couple comes in there and messes around, and he's just like waiting in the shower. So finally Julie happens to go in there. This is a really big house. How did he know she was gonna go in that bathroom? What if she used the downstairs bathroom? He could have been waiting in there all night. Was it gonna come out eventually? I don't know, but he got lucky. Julie comes in the bathroom, she's like in the mirror doing her hair, and all of a sudden he comes up behind her and he's like, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
What are you doing here?
If someone did that to me, my reaction would be to immediately whip around and probably sock the person. That would scare the crap out of me. And she's just like, oh.
Like, this is very strange.
yeah, this is pretty strange. But she's like okay with it, I guess. He's like, let's get out of here. And she's like, I'm so sure.
The party.
I'm so sure.
He's like, okay, let's meet downstairs. And she's like, what? So he thinks, he doesn't speak the Valley Girl lingo, so he thinks sure she meant like, yeah, let's go. And I'm so sure means, yeah, right. That's not happening. He's like, come on, and he gets her to grab her friend and sneak out. So he sneaks out the window, I think, again, and she goes downstairs, gets her friend, and leaves.
I don't know if you're not even here. Okay, let's go back. Come on. God.
And her friend's like, I don't want to go. And it's like, her friend Stacy. And if someone knew her with these guys, they'll just freak out and die. I don't really think anyone would care that much. So anyways, they're driving around, and then the friend Stacy, oh my god, all she does is complain. I hate this music. I hate this car. I hate everything. I hate this song. This is probably one of the best parts of the movie, when he's driving and he's just like laughing maniacally for no reason. He just keeps laughing crazy and like talking to people on the street, and I think he was trying to like look cool, but it come off so goofy. The laugh is so cringy, but I don't know, it's just hilarious. He's like, haha, no way, man, haha, to people on the street. He's like a nerd. He's supposed to be a cool guy. It's almost like Julie thinks he's cool because she's never met anyone from Hollywood. But in Hollywood, I feel like he's a big nerd and people are nice to him because he's nice. I don't know. I don't think he's cool. They go to a club and Julie's friend Stacey's like, I don't want to get out of the car. And then Nicolas Cage is like, fine.
Alright, but when they attack the car, save the radio.
So they're in the club talking. He asks Julie, what do we do for fun? And she's just like, we go to normal places and normal parties and buy new clothes. Buy new clothes. So he's like, when can I see you again? And right when he yells to her, the music just cuts out. Crickets. And Julie, she's like, no one's ever like actually said how they feel. Like where she's from, people are just like, I'll call you when I call you. Make you wait days and days. And so she's like, why are you so direct? And he's just like,
It's the way I feel. It's what I want.
this is coming after he tells her like, you're so programmed, and insulting her, and she still likes him. They're just actually insulting each other. Like,
That techno rock you guys listen to has got me.
now she's like, I feel so connected to you. They've only known each other for hours. They literally spent all time together. They're making out in their car, and she's like, I have to go soon because I have to work in the morning. And he's like, where do you work? And she's like, my parents' store. He's like, that's so cool. And she's like, no, it's health food. It's gross. Why can't they have a Pizza Hut? Yeah, Julie, everyone wishes their parents could have a Pizza Hut. So anyways, he drops Julie off in the morning. It's like almost daylight when she comes in the house, and the parents are already up. And the mom is doing yoga in the morning, which is normal, but she's doing it in some weird like see-through pants or stockings. I don't know. You can see her underwear. It's weird. He's just like, they're like, where were you, Julie? And she's just like not having it. She's like, oh my god, I just got home. You guys said to live my life. I was living my life. Didn't do anything. I just stayed out late. The parents are like, we're really concerned. And I'm like, Mom, I'm concerned you need to wear some pants. It was like too early to see my mom's underpants, have everyone up in my business when you said I could do whatever I want, and then you're just like, where have you been? Thought you guys were hippies. And then Julie's in her driving class.
Guess what? What? Skip past.
And she's a terrible driver. And she's like driving in a circle, like just driving.
He was at the party.
Eyes forward, mouth shut.
It's like so hard to pay attention to what they're saying in this scene because of someone kept driving in a circle. I was getting like nauseous in this scene. So anyways, the teacher fails her. He jumps out of the car. He fails her because the girls are driving all crazy. they jump back to the mom from the party from earlier, the young mom. The boy that her daughter likes is coming to drop off groceries, and she's like,
You enjoyed yourself at the party?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
being all weird to him. Like, she's literally hitting on the boy her daughter said she liked, and I feel like it's because she is in some weird competition in her head with her. So she's like, goes through all this, like, trying to talk to him and hit on him, and he's not getting it. And then she's like, you know, the time to do something is the time to do it. And he's like, what time is it?
What time is it?
I asked her, what time is it? And she's like, actually, it's almost time for, I forget her name, the daughter to get home. So he leaves. So then Julie's at the store working, and Randy somehow finds her, and he's just like creepily stalking her behind this wall, just staring
I'm gonna die.
at her. And he just like walks in, because he's like really tall, so he had to like hunch and hide in this wall. And he comes over to pick her up, and I guess the dad, he's just like, go. And it was really weird. There's this customer in the store, and the mom and dad are like, maybe I should talk to her. And the dad's like, maybe I should talk to her about him, you know, just give her some advice. And then some weird, creepy customer's like, maybe I should talk to her.
Maybe we should talk to her about this.
I don't know. Maybe I should talk to her.
So anyways, they leave, and then they have a montage at night. It's already night, I guess. They're like walking, and there's like neon signs. So they're just walking around, like, not really doing anything but looking at neon signs. And then in the montage, her and Randy are in the mall, and then Tommy sees her and is like, oh, who's this guy? It's like, she already broke up with you a few times. She already been hitting on multiple people. You're already hitting on one of her friends. Tommy asks her friends, like, where's Julie? And they're like, we haven't seen her all week. And then Tommy's like, the guy's filling her head with air. I think her head was already filled with air. One of my other favorite parts is the slumber party. They're just like dancing, and then they're just like dancing all weird to the music.
Okay, this one is so tubular.
Her little sister comes in, accidentally knocks over the record player or something, and she's like, the spaz, and then her sister just runs out like, wah! Screaming. Like, what do you do to your sister? She runs out screaming, and then they start talking about eating and throwing up for some reason. They're eating all this junk food, and they're like, some girls eat and throw up, and they're like, oh, what? And it's just weird. So they keep asking her about Tommy, like, and she's like, Tommy who?
Who?
She's so done. She doesn't want to go out with Tommy, guys. Why do you care who she goes out with? So older sister goes into the stepmom's room and sees that her little sister messed it up, and the little sister's like, whatever. She's like, you made a huge mess. And then her and her friends start going through all of her mom's lingerie, putting it on, which is really weird. And then they start trying on her clothes, and one girl puts on, I don't know, bloomers? First the other girls are trying on sexy lingerie, and then one of the friends puts on these giant weird, like, underpants.
Bye. Like, big deal, okay?
They look like old-fashioned underpants. They're just, like, fluffy. Anyways, so Julie's sitting in front of the mirror while her friends are on the phone, and she's putting on makeup, and she's just, like, drawing makeup on her face. It looks like cat whiskers, and then she puts like this winged eyeliner. She's just like drawing on her face like she's 8 years old. So after this part, we go to the part with the friend who had a crush on a boy. He rides his bike over, he just walks in, like, what the hell? He just walks in the girl's house. This is like the next day after the slumber party. So this boy that was at the party that the stepmom was trying to hit on, of Julie's friend, he just comes in, and then, oh yeah, his name is Skip. His name is Skip. So Skip is like looking for the girl, and he just comes upstairs and like,
Hello? Say it's me, Skip.
here's someone in the shower. So he goes in the bathroom. That is the strangest thing ever. Like, even if some girl's hitting on you, she ain't gonna want you to just appear in the shower. How many people are like always afraid like you're gonna see something when you're washing your face, and then like he just walks in there? Oh, okay, whatever. So anyways, back to Julie and her friend, the one that was making out with Tommy upstairs, and she's trying to like ask her, what should I do? Should I be with Randy? Should I be with Tommy? I don't know why be with Tommy is a question. You could just be with Randy or not be with Randy, because her friend doesn't like Randy. Okay, so the problem is, should I be with Randy or should I be with Tommy? When the real question is, should I be with Randy or just be with nobody and just have you guys be my friends and not be mad at me? Because I don't know why, if you can't be with Randy, you have to be with Tommy. You don't have to be with anyone. You can be with Randy or be with no one. That should have been the question. Should I pick my friends or Randy? Not, should I pick my friends or should I pick Tommy so my friends will like me? You could just not go out with Tommy and not go out with Randy and go out with someone completely different. Anyways, her friend's just confusing her, and then they cut back to the guy Skip that snuck in the shower, and he's like in bed with someone. So it wasn't the stepmom. The daughter won the competition. That was the end of that storyline. We never see it again. I don't know why I was in there. It's stupid. So anyways, so that night, Julie asked her dad's advice. She's like, they all want me to be with Tommy, but I want to be with Randy. And he's like trying to tell her, like, you know, you gotta do what you want to do, not what your friends want you to do. Is this guy so bad? Like, well, I like him. And then he shows her a picture of when he was younger, and then the parents are hippies, and she's like, oh my god, Dad, it's so weird. And she's like, he shows her a picture of him when he's younger, and then this is what Julie says to her dad. I don't even think Randy ever looked this bad. She thinks Julie. He's like, you know, Julie, it's what's on the inside that counts. Yeah. She just told her dad he looked terrible. I think you missed the point, Julie. And she's like, who do I pick? And he's like, beats me. Thanks, Dad. You know, I think he didn't want to help you anymore, Julie, because he told him that he looked terrible. So she decided to be with Tommy. It boils down to her friends and Tommy, or she has nobody, and just Randy, who she likes. So he takes her back immediately, and she just looks at him like, I messed up. You can tell that's what she's thinking. So that night, Randy comes over to talk to Julie, and he's like, I've been looking for you. I haven't seen you. You didn't call. And she's like, you have no control over me. I can see who I want. And he's like, I'm sorry. I love you. I just, you know, he's just like, I don't know where you've been. And she's like, don't say that to me.
What is this, points for effort? I told you this place was gonna be a waste.
Like, and then he gets mad at her, and he's like, this is your friends. And
Why don't you get out of here? You make me... That chick Julie, she's truly dazzling.
like making fun of how she talks. So he gets all drunk, and he goes to the club, and he was talking to himself, runs into some girl, and they don't show what happens, but they like go into a bathroom together, and I think we all know what happens. And then he goes out in the street after the club and starts a fight with some guys.
Can't save me anymore.
Is it your father? Is it your mother? Just let me talk to...
And then his friend, Fred, saves him, and he's like, you need to get Julie back. You just need to get her back, because he knows his friend's falling apart without Julie. And so, Julie gets in her car the next morning to go to school, and then Randy just gets in the next side, and she's like, oh my god. And she's like, get out. And then after this, there's a montage of a bunch of scenes of Randy trying to get back with Julie. And at first, when I watched this with my husband, he was like, I think that's just in her head. She just really misses him. I was like, no, because the things that the guy says is like, Randy takes on a bunch of different jobs to hit on Julie, and he's like, no, I think it's in her mind. She just misses him so much. She sees him everywhere. I was like, no, because every time he's rude to Tommy. Like, he's a ticket taker at the movie theater, and he's rude to Tommy. And then he brings them their burgers when they're at a burger restaurant.
Okay. How you doing down there?
And Randy just keeps appearing places. And I'm like, okay, this is so weird, but it's actually kind of hilarious. After that, or like a few days later, she wakes up and he's sleeping on her lawn. So Julie's getting ready for prom. And they arrive at the prom, and there's just, it's weird because like they show the food on the right, and there's like the prom is all decorated, and I can't help but noticing there's a table with a tray. It looks like just a giant tray of crackers. Like there's a huge tray of crackers. The prom. It's like, what do you want at prom? Punch and crackers. There's these two kids that spike the punch, and I always wonder about this. Why do they always show kids spiking the punch? I feel like this has never happened. This is one of those myths that teachers and parents are like, someone's gonna put alcohol in the punch so everyone can have fun. Why would two kids, it's a little thing, alcohol, why would they share their little bit of alcohol with like what, a couple hundred students, when they could have the alcohol to themselves and drink it? Why would they share it with everyone else? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think anyone would do that, but whatever, some kids spike the punch. They go to the announcement for prom king and queen, and then the announcer, at first I was like, is she a teacher? She's someone who goes to school there. She's like super emotional about school and crowning king and queen, and I'm like, okay. So Randy comes behind the curtain and he knocks Tommy out. Like, or actually, they get in a fight, and then he knocks Tommy out and he grabs Julie, and they're like leaving together. And
One is disciplined when one is...
she got announced prom king queen, and Tommy was the king. And then Tommy comes and tries to get Julie back, and then Randy punches him again. And then Julie and Randy get into Tommy's limo. He tells the driver to go to some hotel, and Julie's like, and then Julie like throws her bracelet that Tommy had gave her in one scene, like she just throws it out the window. And that's the end. And it's one of those movies, weird, it's of its time, but it's actually has pretty hilarious moments. It's actually a pretty good movie. So if you haven't seen Valley Girl, I recommend you see it. If not for the storyline, just for the Valley Girl words that they use are hilarious.